there is curvature, but since light bends up, you don't really detect it that well. So when you say show me the curvature, I say show me your intelligence. Show me your intuition. Show me that you cannot get fooled again.
Really?
Jeppesen aviation maps which indicate concavity to the Earth. Notice the latitude lines are all frowning. That's because the satellite, which is situated at the equator, is simply pointing down inside. These satellites are hovering at these geostationary equilibrium points because there's a giant octahedral magnet in the center of the Earth. What connection is there between a total solar eclipse and the rotation of the Earth? If there is a rotation of the Earth, it makes no sense. It's got to be another force that's perpetuating the pendulum, and that is the ether force. And so when the moon obstructed the sun, it changed the way that the ether was hitting the Earth. There was a disruption, there was a disturbance within the ether when the eclipse happened. And another thing about the solid Earth is they have to figure out why the P waves are reaching the other side of the Earth a lot later than they should. And so basically they're saying that during it, while that's why they create this outer core. They're saying that there's higher elasticity there. It's not necessarily lower density. It's just all theory and conjecture and bullshit. Creating the striations, this interference, the solar wind, the curved rays of the sun interacting with the magnetic flux of the lips of the metallic rind of the Earth. The ionosphere is actually just glass. It's an insulator. Okay, the Earth is one big capacitor. Look at that. It's hitting a wall. It's hitting the glass guy. There's a gap between the electromagnetic forces from above the glass versus the ground. And the glass is the insulator. And so the lightning bridges that gap, just like in a plasma ball. Well, if you don't have a hard surface to the ionosphere, and it's just a field of plasma, those RF waves are going to just be absorbed. And that's what we have in your model. It doesn't make sense. You need a hard surface. Therefore, they have to give you different layers of it. And that's dependent upon the frequency. The level of absorbance is greater when the wavelength is shorter. So that's what they're failing to tell you. It's just a faulty presupposition.
interference from the cosmic rays entangle with the collimated light hitting the back of the sun, it actually slows it down. So that's what we're getting.
Divergence centrifugal ether force. So this ether explains everything that you think gravity explains, but the ether explains it better.
Reflection of light by matter is well observed in astronomy.
There's no need to have mass act like a lens when there actually is a lens, a cut glass goblet lens of the celestial sphere, damaged after the flood.
Same type of colorization stress values that the nacreous or iridescent clouds have. Same thing. The sunlight bends around, and once it passes through the glass sky, the light gets polarized. And then it curves around back, and then it hits through the bottom of the cloud and then rises back up again.
Still going to get chromatic aberration from some of these SET telescopes that claim to not produce chromatic aberration.
don't know how the sun works. It's not burning anything. There's no fusion in the sun. That's well understood. There's nothing inside. It's not burning anything. It doesn't have to. It's a converter.
Foundations of the Earth. That's why there is an octahedron in the center. And it can't be picked up with Canadian Meteor Orbit radar. So these confinement domes are obviously in the shape of half spheres, actually a little bit more than half spheres. And so that's how I believe that the moon and sun were actually formulated at the beginning, inside the center of the octahedron. And so somehow, once they were formed, they shot up. One shot up north, one shot up south, out of the octahedron, and they began to orbit around the celestial sphere. These so-called plasma tubes that they're detecting are all pointing to 33 degrees. That's where all activity is starting from. That's how it's illuminating. That's how it's powering the sun. And so you can actually even think about these, which you think are plasma tubules, but actually is the source of light. It's the source of energy. It's the source of the ether. But when we look at the cosmic rays hitting the Earth, this is how it's depicted. You guys have light detectors and charged particle detectors on the ground, and they're always observing a convergence as you go up. It's not because of perspective, and that cannot work. Obviously, if you're looking at a convex ball, there would be a positive meniscus over your head, which would converge. So the origin of these cosmic rays are coming from the north sides of the north, and they pass through this high vacuum state of this glass-Dewar effect, and they increase in velocity. It emanates out in all directions. It looks for an opening. And we have Cygnus X going right through it because the Milky Way band is a little bit thinner and it allows those cosmic rays to be penetrated through the celestial sphere. It's not actually coming from the stars. The stars are just tiny little small luminescent bubbles.
That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting.